Examples of MPV and approaches to their creation. We've already established that an MVP isn't just an unfinished product, but a strategically important tool for quickly testing your ideas. But what does this minimum viable product look like in practice? And what does it mean for your startup when you're just starting out? An MVP can take many different forms. Its purpose is to gather the maximum amount of information about customer behavior and needs with minimum time and money spent. It's your first attempt to create value and find out if the market truly needs it. Landing page, your first public test. Imagine you have an idea for a new revolutionary travel planning app. You believe it will save people hours of time and thousands of dollars. But instead of immediately jumping into costly development, you start with a landing page. What is it? It's a simple single-page website that describes your future product or service. It has a compelling headline, a brief description of the problem you're solving, your value proposition, and, most importantly, a call to action button. This could be, leave your email to be the first to know, sign up for beta testing, book now for a discount, or watch a demo. How does it work? You launch this website and direct a small amount of targeted traffic to it, e.g., through a minimal advertising campaign on Google Ads or social media, targeted at your ideal audience. You're not selling a real product. It doesn't exist yet. You're selling an idea, a promise. What do you measure? Conversion rate. How many people who visited the site completed the desired action, e.g., left their email? A high conversion rate, 5% to 15% and above for simple actions, indicates that your idea truly resonates with the audience's problem. A low rate means you need to reevaluate your value proposition or target audience. Traffic sources. Where do the most interested users come from? This helps you understand where your audience lives and how best to engage with them. Feedback. If you offer beta testing signups, you can contact these people and conduct in-depth interviews with them, as discussed in the chapter on idea validation. Real-life examples. Dropbox, one of the most famous examples. Before writing a single line of code for complex file synchronization, the founders created a simple video demonstrating how their service would work. They placed it on a landing page and offered early access signups. Thousands of registrations showed immense demand, convincing investors to fund the product. Buffer. The creators wanted to test the idea of automated social media post scheduling. Their first MVP was a very simple landing page that explained what Buffer does and offered to learn more about plans. When people clicked the button, they saw a message that the product wasn't ready yet, but they could leave their email. These registrations confirmed demand. Key takeaway. A landing page is a powerful tool for testing demand for your idea and customer readiness to consume it, even before you've spent serious resources on development. Prototypes, bringing your idea to life. If a landing page answers the question, "Is my idea interesting?" Swing, then a prototype answers the question, "How will people use my product, and is it convenient?" A prototype is an interactive model of your product that simulates its functionality but is not a fully working version. Prototypes come in varying degrees of fidelity. Low-fidelity prototype. These can be paper sketches, wireframes, flowcharts, or even a PowerPoint or Google Slides presentation. The main goal is to quickly test the user flow and interaction logic. For example, you draw several app screens on paper and simulate finger taps, moving from screen to screen, to understand if the user's path is logical. Medium fidelity prototype, created using specialized tools, discussed below. They look more realistic, allowing you to simulate buttons and transitions, but without real code or databases behind them. The user can click buttons, navigate between screens, and fill out forms. High-fidelity prototype. Look almost like a finished product, but are still simulations. They are used for fine-tuning design and user experience, but require more time to create. How does it work? You create a prototype and give it to potential users. Then you observe them as they interact with the prototype and ask questions. What would you click here? Zrania. Is it clear where this button leads? Swing. What did you expect to see on this screen? What do you measure? Usability. How easy is it for people to use your product? Where do they encounter difficulties? Intuitiveness. Do they understand how to perform basic tasks without instructions? Attractiveness. Do they like the design and overall concept? Feature demand. What features do they look for? Which ones seem unnecessary to them? Real-life examples. Any startup involved in software or app development actively uses prototypes. Before writing any code, designers create interactive mock-ups that allow them to walk through the future application, identify navigation and logic issues, even before developers start working. Recall Facebook. Before launching the main platform, Mark Zuckerberg and his team likely created many prototypes and mock-ups to understand how users would interact with profiles, news feeds, and how they would add friends. Key takeaway: prototypes allow you to quickly and cheaply test how your product will work for the user and make changes to the design and functionality before you start spending resources on full-scale development. Minimum product functionality. A real solution to a real problem. If a landing page tests interest and a prototype tests usability, then an MVP with minimum functionality is already a real working product that solves one, but very important, problem for your first customers. This is no longer a mock-up, but a real thing that can be sold or used. What is it? It's a skeleton of your future product, containing only the most critically important functions without which the product makes no sense. Everything that would be nice to have is postponed for later. Example: you want to create a full-fledged CRM system for sales and marketing management. Your MVP will not include dozens of modules, analytics, integrations with hundreds of services. Perhaps it will only include a function for adding contacts and companies, the ability to keep notes on interactions, a very simple sales pipeline, e.g., new, in progress, closed. This isn't an ideal CRM, but it already solves the basic problems of small businesses: how not to forget about clients and manage the simplest sales stages. What do you measure? Actual usage. Are people actually using the product? How many times do they return? Retention. Do they continue to use it after a week, a month? Satisfaction. Are they satisfied with how the product solves their main problem? Willingness to pay. If it's a paid MVP, are they willing to pay for it? Most demanded features. What features do users most frequently ask to add? Sometimes they ask for completely different things than you thought. Real-life examples. Spotify. Initially, Spotify's MVP was incredibly simple: a desktop application allowing free music streaming with limited functionality. The main draw was legal access to a vast song library, which at the time was a true revolution in the era of piracy. Everything else, mobile apps, personalized playlists, podcasts, appeared much later. Facebook. When it first launched at Harvard, it was an extremely simple platform. Profiles with basic information, the ability to add friends and send messages. No news feed, no photos, no groups. It solved one key problem: connecting university students with each other in a unified online space. Uber. The first MVP was incredibly minimalistic. It was simply an app allowing users to request a black taxi in San Francisco with the option to pay by card. No UberX, Uberpool, no food deliveries. Just solving one problem: getting a taxi quickly and conveniently. Key takeaway: an MVP with minimum functionality is your first real step into the market, allowing you to gain the most valuable feedback, data on real user behavior and their willingness to pay. Tools for rapid MVP creation. Fortunately, Today, you don't need to be a coding guru or spend thousands of dollars to create an MVP. There are many affordable tools that allow you to quickly assemble your first prototype or even a working product without a single line of code. This is called no-code, low-code solutions. These tools are incredibly popular among startups because they allow founders to test ideas without waiting for a full-fledged development team to come together. For landing pages, Unbounce, lead pages. These platforms specialize in creating high-converting landing pages. They offer ready-made templates, drag-and-drop builders, and A/B testing. Card.co, ideal for very simple one-page websites, very cheap and intuitive. Webflow Tilde, more powerful website builders that allow you to create beautiful and functional pages without code. For prototypes, low and mid-fidelity, Figma, Sketch, Adobe XD, professional tools for UI/UX designers. They allow you to create interactive mock-ups of apps and websites, simulating real interaction. Figma is especially popular due to its collaborative features. Balsamiq, an excellent tool for creating low-fidelity wireframe prototypes, helps focus on functionality rather than aesthetics. InVision allows you to turn static design images into interactive prototypes with transitions. For MVPs with minimal functionality, no-code, low-code, Bubble.io, a powerful no-code platform for building web applications. You can build complex products, marketplaces, SaaS services without writing a single line of code, ideal for testing complex business logic. Glide, Adalo, allow you to create mobile apps directly from Google Sheets or other databases. Great for internal tools, simple catalogs, or small client applications. Softer.io allows you to create websites and portals based on data from Airtable. You can very quickly launch a catalog, knowledge base, or even a membership portal. Example of no-code MVP use. Suppose you want to launch a service that finds personalized self-development courses for people. Your first MVP, no-code, landing page, card/unbounce, describes the idea of personalized course selection, a Find Your Course button, form, Typeform, Google Forms. After clicking the button, the user fills out a form with questions about their interests, goals, and budget. Human backend. You manually, or with an assistant, analyze the answers and select several courses, sending them via email. Gathering feedback. You ask the client how satisfied they were with the selection and if they would be willing to pay for it. Such an MVP can be launched in a few days or weeks. It allows you to test the entire cycle, from attracting a customer to delivering value to them using minimal resources. If there's demand and people are willing to pay, then you can invest in developing a full-fledged selection algorithm and automation. Key takeaway: no-code, low-code tools are superheroes for startup founders. They allow you to quickly turn ideas into working prototypes and even minimal products, test them on a real audience, and gain invaluable data for making decisions about future development. We've finished with the foundational concepts. Now that you know how to generate and validate ideas, analyze the market, build business models, and create an MVP, it's time to move on to more serious matters: finances, product development, and marketing.